if you're not fit, if you don't have the habits that you want, you do need help. You do need support, because if it was just about the plan, you would already be fit. You can go Google something online, go Google a meal plan. Literally, if you stick to anything, even if it's stupid, you'll be able to lose the weight. If you look at every person that has success in their life in any area that you want to improve, they probably have a coach or a mentor somewhere behind them that has helped them get there. All right, welcome to the Fit Vegan Podcast. I'm your show host, Maxime, and I'm the founder and CEO of Fit Vegan Coaching, a company that is on a mission to help 10,000 people get lean, thrive, and reduce their risk of chronic illnesses by 2033 and 1 million by 2050. I believe that having a fit, healthy body and mind is the foundation to living an incredible life, and this is what the show will give you if you choose to listen and implement. Enjoy the episode and have a great day. All right, good morning, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Fit Vegan Podcast. Today, we're going to talk about the basics that are necessary in order for you to be able to improve your body composition on a whole food, plant-based lifestyle. So in reality, transformation is actually really simple. And our human brain wants to over-complexify it just because we have a hard time doing it. But the truth is that it's so basic and so simple that we trying to find other strategies because it can't be just that, right? So I'll break it down for you. There's only 3 things, max 4 things you need to do in order to improve your body composition. One of them is have some form of resistance training in your plan, because improving your body composition is simply 2 things. It's changing 2 variables in your body. One of them is body fat. One of them is the amount of lean muscle mass. So we want to decrease the amount of lean body fat and increase the amount of lean muscle mass. In order to increase the amount of lean muscle mass, we have to stimulate it. And resistance training is the number one way to accomplish that. So that means you can either go to a gym and lift some weight. You can be doing home workouts at home with resistance band, with your body weight. It could be using reusable grocery bags with cans of beans, whatever it may be. Your body doesn't really care as to what's the thing you're holding in your hand. All it knows is resistance against gravity. And so obviously you want to make sure that it's challenging. So the number one thing of the basic is have some form of resistance training in your plan that has some progressive overload included into the structure, meaning you make it increasingly harder as you progress along in your journey. There's always a way to make the workout harder. You can do less reps, more weights. You can do more reps. You can do shorter breaks, longer breaks. You can do more sets. You can increase the intensity, the tempo of the exercise. You can slow down the tempo of the exercise. Strength training and resistance training in its own is a complex world, but ultimately a form of resistance training a minimum of 3 times per week. The second thing is that you need to be in a calorie deficit, right? You cannot lose a ton of body fat if you're in a caloric surplus. You can't debunk that. I've had these conversations, with Dr. Barnard and Clapper and all of these guys. We cannot redefine the laws of thermodynamics. If your body is expending a certain amount of energy and you eat more of it than what you're expending, your body will store some of it for the future in case you get to a place where you're expending more and eating less. Your body's wired for survival. Stored body fat is there for future energy use. So you do need to be in a calorie deficit in order to induce fat loss. I recommend starting with a low calorie deficit, so maybe a 200 to 300 calorie deficit versus anything steep, but that's a full podcast for another day. So that's the second one. The third one is to consume enough plant-based protein in the day. Now, you can consume low amounts of protein if your goal is health. If you don't care about your body composition and you're not trying to build more lean muscle, you're not trying to look more toned, disregard that piece of advice. But if your goal is to have more lean muscle mass and be more toned, which you should care about, especially as you get older, because there's a faster decline in the amount of lean muscle mass on your body and of your bone density. Bone density gets solved with the resistance training. The protein is the thing that's going to help repair the muscle tissue that's going to be torn during the resistance training, right? And so you're not tearing a muscle, but you're tearing the little microfibers. And by repairing those little microfibers with the amino acid, which are building blocks, which are the thing that are contained inside of protein. So you can consume enough protein in a day. If you're someone that is looking to actively improve their body composition and you're resistance training at least 3 times a week, you're looking at about 1.5 to 1.6 gram per kg of body weight. If you use your weight in pounds, just grab your weight in pounds divided by 2.2. That'll give you your weight in kg, and then do times 1.5 or 1.6, and you'll have an amount of protein for you to consume per day in order to improve your body composition, if that's the thing that you want to focus on, right? If you don't care about being a little bit, skinny, fat, pudgy, whatever it may be, you just want to focus on health, disregard that piece of advice. But if you go to shift your body composition, you need to do these 3 things. The 4th things would be some form of cardiovascular exercise, not as a means to burn a ton of calorie, but you can have the best looking body in the world, and if your heart is weak and it gives out, you still die. You die looking great. So I want all of you to live a long, healthy life. So we do need to train your heart. So it could be through you doing your steps, walking throughout the day, doing some form of cardiovascular exercise that you enjoy. It does not have to be running. If you hate running, you don't have to run. So it could be you biking, swimming, playing soccer, basketball, tennis, volleyball, whatever thing you dancing, whatever thing you enjoy that gets your heart rate up, that will be your form of cardiovascular exercise. So literally, those are the 4 things you need to do: resistance training, calorie deficit, protein, some form of cardiovascular exercise. If you just do these 4 things, you will see incredible results. Now, here's the reason why most people struggle to stick to these 4 things is because of what's in between their 2 ears, how they handle with stress, how the previous habits that they have, self-sabotage, not feeling like they are enough, not feeling that they are worth it. I would say blaming others, but putting other people first before themselves. I just recorded a full podcast on the top 5 lessons of being a caregiver, 2 weeks before this episode. So you definitely can go back and listen to it. But ultimately, what's in your head, your mindset, is the thing that is preventing you from sticking to the basics that will get you to transformation that you want, right? Transformation is, from a number and a data standpoint, is pretty straightforward. It's pretty much math, to be honest with you. But as a human, we have emotion. We are complex. We all deal with stress differently. We all have a different belief system about ourselves, what we feel that we deserve and don't deserve. We have a different value system. We live in certain environments that potentially may be conducive or not conducive to you becoming the healthiest and fittest version of yourself. And so the real battle of a transformation is in your mind. So the key, and again, I'm not trying to say this to plug Fit Vegan coaching. Again, to me, like, I want people to transform. So if we don't align with what you want to do, don't work with me. We're doing fine. We're transforming the lives of people. We're good on our side, right? If you want help, we're here. If you don't want help from us, fine. And just enjoy the podcast, right? I'm trying to provide some valuable content for you. But the job of a good coach is to help you remove yourself from your own way and to keep you on track and bring you back on track when you go off track. That's the true benefit of having a coach. Yes, if they are educated and they're good at what they do, they'll be able to build you a beautiful meal plan and a beautiful workout plan that's made for your lifestyle, that's sustainable for you, like we do for our clients. But the real job of a coach is to help you remove yourself from your own way, help you teach new skills and new habit, and help you get back on track when you get off track. Because how helpful would a coach be if all he did was give you a plan, and then you had a stressful day at work and you went off track and you binge all weekend and you come back and he just says, okay, stick to the plan? How helpful is that? Well, hey, I just need you to do your workout. I just need you to stick to the meal plan. That's not super helpful. A child can tell you that. You don't need a coach for that. It's a child can do that for you, right? A good coach will be like, hey, like, what happened? What could we have done differently? What lesson here? What system can we put in place for the next time? Why do you think that happened? It was like, a big thing that we see often is like members lose a ton of weight and they start to look phenomenal and they start to know that they look phenomenal, and then they feel guilty. They don't feel like they deserve it. So they self-sabotage and they go off track. And it's like, hey, like, why do you think this is happening? Right? Well, I don't feel like I'm worth it. Okay. Is that true? What experiences do you have in your life to kind of back that up? Like, a good coach will dive deep into that with you. And that's what we do with our clients, because at the end of the day, we understand that when they go off track, There's a reason. Like, it doesn't help anyone to be like, I just need you to stick to your meal plan and your workout plan. Like, shit, life happens. How can we put systems in place? How can we have dealt with this better the next time? And so that is basically like, that's literally what transforming is. Why I have a really hard time saying this one, right? Resistance training, be in calorie deficit, hit your protein, some form of cardiovascular exercise, and then, progress on those as you kind of move along. But ultimately, the big game is getting someone or some help to help you remove yourself from your own way so that you can develop the healthy habits that are needed for you to get the goal that you want. I have so many people trying to hire us and be like, I just need to work out of the meal plan. I don't need accountability. I don't need coaching. I'm like, that's bullshit. Because if you did, you would already be fit, right? Like you would already be fit. That is not the issue. Like you can go get a personal trainer, you can go get a nutritionist, you can go and do these things. I think it's such bullshit. Like if you are fit and healthy, I say it's funny, you don't need a coach, but you do need a coach. And here's why. I'm fit, I'm healthy, I'm disciplined, I'm successful, I got my shit together. And the reason why I have all of these things is because I have coaches. I have coaches in multiple areas of my life. So the people that say that they don't need coaches, that they don't need accountability, are the ones that need it the most. If you look at every person that has success in their life in any area that you want to improve, they probably have a coach or a mentor somewhere behind them that has helped them get there. And so if you're not fit, if you're not at the healthy body weight that you want, if you don't have the habits that you want, you do need help. You do need support, because if it was just about the plan, you would already be fit. You can go Google something online, go Google a meal plan. Literally, if you stick to anything, even if it's stupid, you'll be able to lose the weight, right? But that's just the third part of a transformation. The second part is reverse dieting and speeding up your metabolism post-transformation so you can actually keep the weight off. So you can go follow any Joe Blow online, do a keto diet or Atkins or whatever new shit is out there on TikTok. And if you were a disciplined person and you stuck to it, you would be able to lose the weight. Like it's not, let's put it this way. There's a difference between fat loss and weight loss. This is me ranting for a little bit. Any dummy can make anyone lose weight. I can just starve you and make you do 3 hours of workout every single day and you'll lose weight. Like it doesn't take, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure this shit out. That's weight loss though. You're losing a bunch of muscle with that and some fat with it. So you're going to end up looking skinny, fat, and pudgy at the end. That's what you want. That's great. It's a different art to just lose fat and build muscle at the same time. Not everyone can do that. Not every coach can do that. And so if it was just about the plan, you would be disciplined enough to do it on your own. And so if you're not where you want to, get help. If not, you will stay where you're at until you decide to ask for help. And I don't know for you, but I've learned to put my ego aside and ask for help. And I am way too impatient to wait for the perfect time in my life to study the thing and to do the thing. I love efficiency. If I have a goal, I will find a person that can get me to that goal, buy their knowledge, buy the blueprint so I can get there as fast as I can without making all the stupid mistakes that they've made. All right. So at this point, if you guys don't know, my wife and Ivy, we post weekly vlogs on YouTube. And I kind of started a little transformation challenge for myself, just for the fun of it, because I haven't trained for something in a while. But on October 18th, 2024, it'll be 10 years that I've been a vegan. And I set a challenge for myself to just go back to having a leaner physique. This specific photo I had in my phone, it's not like too lean, but just it would be more fun to get back to that because I can do a nice little photo shoot by my 10-year vegan anniversary. Be able to do 100 push-ups in a row, and I mean clean push-ups. And I got long-ass arms, so those are going to be pretty hard. 50 pull-ups in a row to be able to hit the driver at golf 300 yards and dunk a basketball with two hands off of one foot, but like solid. Not like I jump and I'm not too sure if I can get it, which is kind of currently where I'm at. I can dunk it sometimes, but not all the time. But like know that I can get it every single time. What did I do? I found a golf coach. I found a coach that teaches basketball players to jump higher, and I hired a nutrition coach to be able to take care of the whole thing and talk with these two guys and put it together to have a plan for me. I don't have time to figure this out. I put out 2 podcasts a week. We're coaching clients. We're growing fit vegan. I don't have time to figure all these things out. So I live a busy life just like you. To a certain extent, I potentially have a busier life than some of you do. Um, that's why I like to pay for knowledge. Money is there to help you progress the quality of your life. And maybe right now it's like, hey, I don't have the money for this. Hey, go to the library and rent a book for free if that's where you're at. That's what I started with. And eventually, from reading these books, I was able to change my life situation. Then I was able to buy books. That was a big milestone. And then I bought those books and they were mine and I made notes in them. And then from that information, I was able to change the quality of my life again. Now I was able to buy courses, right? Not with a coach because I didn't have money for a coach yet, but I was able to buy courses. From those courses, I implemented the information and then I was able to pay for a coach. And from a coach, I was able to drastically increase the quality of my life and kind of go up from there. But start with where you're at, but also understand that, hey, I'm human too. I've been there too. I spent money on stupid shit. You don't need to have the latest iPhone, the latest iPad, and all of these, a new TV every single year, whatever it may be. Invest in things that will help you increase the quality of your life. And so, just to kind of bring it back to the original topic, transformation is simple. Dealing with the human brain and a client's psychology and emotion is a challenging part. And the whole game as a coach, and if you want to try to do it by yourself, I invite you to, you have to learn to remove yourself from your own way. And if you find that you cannot remove yourself from your own way often enough for you to be able to reach your goal, then ask for help. Like, you don't have to struggle with this. There's people that know how to do this that can help you, right? So I hope this makes sense. I didn't record this podcast with the intention of like, you need to get a coach, but that's what changed the quality of my life drastically. And that's literally my first go-to thing. Every time I set a new goal for myself, I'm like, okay, who has the knowledge to help me reach that goal? I'm going to go online. I'm going to ask around to some people that I know, and I'll be like, this person is great. And they'll be able to get you there. Because I know that if I try to go on YouTube and buy the books and trying to figure it out, I'm going to have a lot of general information. Like, a lot of people are reading all the new nutrition books, all of, listening to all the articles, or buying all the books from Dr. Greger and all these things. They're beautiful. They're full of information, but they're just like a bunch of information spread in front of you. They're not constructed in a concise plan to get you the outcome that you want for your specific body, for your specific situation. And just like all of you, like I have a wife, I have a life, I have a lot of things. Like, I don't have time to learn a whole new area of things. Let me just go buy the knowledge from someone that can give me the exact information that I need to get the job done. And through acquiring that information, it may spike curiosity. And then I can dive deeper into knowledge that will be close or attached to the information that was very useful to me moving forward on my goal. And that's how people that reach goals that are successful think differently, right? Like, just buy knowledge. That's literally what you're doing when you're buying a book, when you're buying a course, when you're hiring a coach, when you're doing anything like that. You're literally buying knowledge. I have made so many mistakes in my own fitness and nutrition journey and my transformation journey that when I coach someone, I understand deeply what they've gone through. And I know that if they say like, hey, I want to do this, I'm like, hey, don't do that, because if you head down this path, this is what's going to happen. And this will lead you to have an unhealthy relationship with food, with exercise, with yourself, or this is going to be a waste of time. So I can prevent my clients from making these time and financially costly mistakes, right? Some people are like, oh, but I buy this supplement and this thing. I was like, you don't need all this stuff. Save your money. Don't spend it on this. Go buy real food instead. You get much better results from buying real food. And so that's my little rant for you for today's podcast. But ultimately, fat loss is simple. You just have to learn to remove yourself from your own way. So I hope this podcast episode was helpful. Again, a little bit different than what I typically record, but man, I hope it resonated. I'm going to try and do a podcast with Ivy as well, because she's had quite a lot of success in her life and the thing that she's taken on. And just, you guys can understand like that there's just a difference in mindset if you want to get to the place that where you want to. And you just have to accept that you're going to fail, right? I have failed more often at transforming my body than I have succeeded at it. So when I first started, tons of failure, and then I succeeded a little bit, and then tons of failure, and I succeeded a little bit more, tons of failure, succeed a little bit more. Now I can transform my body at will if I want to. I can transform the bodies of our clients at will because we have so much experience. Like you can go to personal training certification, but you'll never catch up to me having coached, almost 800 people. Those are life experiences and lessons and a way of coaching that you won't learn in a course. You only learn through doing it over and over and again for years on end. And so again, hope this podcast is valuable. I'm trying to wrap it up, but I keep talking about other things. I love podcasts. You guys didn't notice I can talk forever. And so massive thank you for listening to this episode. Stay tuned for next Tuesday because I have an incredible guest on the show, and I will see you all next week. Have an incredible weekend. Bye.